Warriors TV and Warriors.com in San Francisco at the Delancey Street Foundation, where the Warriors are taking part in a very special film premiere for the movie The Other Dream Team. Of course, you remember in 1992, the U.S. men's basketball team, that was the dream team taking gold. Well, there was another team in the competition, the Lithuanians, who are now getting the spotlight. Warriors fans will always remember Chris Mullin as part of the USA's Dream Team that stormed gold in Barcelona. And now his Warriors teammate, Sarunas Marciulionis, is being featured in a documentary film that tells the amazing story of the Lithuanians who took bronze and celebrated freedom in the process. The Other Dream Team is a movie that is as much about history as it is basketball. And those who lived it are thrilled that the meaning will now be shared with movie audiences everywhere.
It's freedom, it's a value, camaraderie, things that if you're really working hard, that you can accomplish something and reach your goals, and it's a joy. It's a joy that what you do makes nations happy.
And the story of triumph is universal. The film's producer, John Weinbach, helped bring it to light.
It's one of those rare stories that truly is more than just a sports story. It's a story, it's a human story, it's a story about politics, it's a story about pop culture and sports and how those three forces came together after the fall of communism and the crumbling of the Berlin Wall. And it's one of those rare instances where a sport truly helped put a country on the map.
NBA legend Bill Walton's role, as well as the Bay Area's own music icons, the Grateful Dead, adds tremendous texture to this tale of freedom celebrated by this team.
20 plus years ago, over in Oakland, that arena hopping every night. Great basketball one night, the Grateful Dead the next night. And the crowds were crossing over and going back and forth. And then when the story came out about how Sarunas was working so hard to provide the opportunities and the chance for a dream of a young person to come true back in his homeland, right after you played for the Soviet Union in the '88 Olympics in Seoul, and you win the gold medal with a dynamic performance of absolute brilliance with Gomelsky as the coach and Sabonis and Marciulionis, and then all of a sudden they're free and they're on their way, but they need that little helping hand. And it was the Grateful Dead who stood tall once again.
Oh, these guys were the underdog, and it stood for a lot more than just basketball. I mean, they took it to a whole other place, you know. It's about freedom, it was liberty, and it was a great story, you know, and it was just really fortunate that we got involved, and it was just a magic moment, you know, the shirts and the way they played, the rhythm of their game was so different than anything else. Jamming. They were jamming.
The Warriors rolled out the blue carpet for this movie event and were out in full force. A film premiere that the Warriors are part of. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Well, it is a lot of fun, and you know, it's about basketball, and it's about a great story in the history of basketball, and it's also about us, the Warriors, being involved in the community, in the city, and this is a way for us to start getting involved here.
Well, it really shows that the diversity of experiences around the Olympics and around politics and around people's ambition is what makes sports so, you know, romantic. It's the story. It's always the story. You know, whether it's the players or the country or the odds for them to make it up or the miracle on ice, it's always that same piece of business that makes people talk about it and then pay it forward to other people, evangelize the process.
After the screening, it was rave reviews.
It's a wonderful movie. Learn a lot of history. It's a wonderful movie, man. I definitely watch it again.
It's really impressive. Just to hear that story. Obviously, you know, our dream team kind of overshadowed things, but just, you know, to see, you know, all that they'd come through, you know, to get to that point, it was impressive.
Yeah, the movie was really good. Got to learn a lot about the Lithuanian history. Man, it's very inspiring. It shows you can do anything, so it's inspiring.
An after-movie Q&A session brought a chance for reflection on the film and the themes that the Warriors can take forward into this coming season.
And that sense of empowerment and what the Warriors are doing, and I see Joe Lacob and Al Addles talking back there and how cool that is, and Rick Welch and all the people that make this franchise so special, and to see all the young players here today, and I'm just hopeful. I'm hopeful that Richard and his teammates will go back and take this message of how hard these guys work.
Hi, I'm Amy Silver. I'm the CEO and president of Delancey Street Foundation. And for those of you who don't know, Delancey Street deals with gangs, people who have been in prison.
The event was held at a special place in the Bay Area, also dedicated to helping others, the Delancey Street Foundation, as founder Mimi Silbert addressed the gathering and opened up their theater for the first Bay Area screening of the film.
Time came when we have to sometimes pull out this from a closet, and just maybe this 10% of what we experienced. So it's not. But I would say I was part of Warriors, old Warriors, but this is makes me feel so well, to see Bill and the other guys,
I think in the best iteration of the film, it's not really a basketball film at all. It's a story about how people can struggle and hope and dream, and even at the bleakest hour when things absolutely don't look like they can happen, they can. And you can use how sports can truly be a vehicle. And it's, we're so cynical. It's very hard to think about sports in this way, but it really can be a pure way to a platform to bigger ideals: freedom, free will, the choice to have your own life and not be subject to a greater political force than yourself. So that's, I think, what people take away from it.
The Grateful Dead have been able to use music to change the world. Sarunas, the Lithuanian Dream Team, they did the same thing with a basketball. They're brilliant, as is this movie.
And the film is starting its Bay Area run this weekend, starting Friday, October the 12th, showing in theaters in San Francisco, Berkeley, and in Palo Alto. And the film's director will be part of some select Q&A sessions at some of those theaters. So keep checking here on Warriors.com and keep watching Warriors TV.